welcome back. WeArEuS, and this, well, I think we both know that this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. As you can clearly tell, we are not in the same place we left off last episode. That is because I did as I said I would. I climbed down the side thing back near that building where we freed the guy from the rubble. Little did I know, there would be two more fights waiting for us, one of which was just awful. They had one of the large guys that deal the AoE damage, so of course we greased them up. Then I came in here, did not expect what I found, a goddamn fire demon, who nearly wiped us. I had to reload the save from before I entered because, well, of course I had to, because I came in here, we hadn't rested. All of our, we had a number of spells that we had. The limited spells were pretty much all used up. When I came back in here properly rested, of course having to eat extra corruption, though I think they were able to turn that down thanks to the ritual, so it didn't accrue too badly. You can see here the tactic we used. Basically, what I did was I set grease here. The problem is the fire demon itself didn't really care for the grease. It just walked in and out of it like it was nothing, which was ridiculous. And then just hit my entire group for significant damage, let's call it that. It was rough. It was touch and go there for a while. But having grease here and then everyone else slipping and falling, just trying to get at us, was fine. I think we lost Ember once. We may have lost someone else, but ultimately, I came out on top, and we got a really nice weapon out of it. What was it? Also, this is the purple stone knife that we got from the vision. So I didn't notice this was there. It's nice that he does have a melee weapon. Where did I get this from? I have no idea where I got abrupt force from. Was it during the time was it in the last video that you guys saw? Because I really don't remember. I haven't played this game in 4 days? Yeah, 4 days. No, more than that. Nope, definitely 4 days. I played it last Saturday when I recorded the video for Tuesday. So let's see. I decided to put the ring. I don't know if I did this during the last video or after it. Anyway, didn't we get something from it? I could have sworn we got a weapon or something from the thing, but regardless, it was definitely worth killing it. What does everyone have? Wait, what is she using? Darkhorn. He's got that. He's otherwise buck naked. Right, I also did want to see something else. Class. He should be getting something from... There's still 3,000 X. Well, 2,300 XP off of their next level. And I know there's one more area that we haven't been to, and that's the one we can access from the, if we cross a tree trunk. I vaguely remember where that is. As you can tell, everyone... Oh, wait. We didn't read this. A letter in small handwriting. May glory be showered on your head. Your interest in the creation of demiplanes is understandable. Any individual who has reached a certain level of power seeks for themselves a safe haven. A peaceful place for study and rest. That is why I place my high hopes in your prudence. Remember that any demiplane is but a shard of one of the true planes that typically remain under the watchful eye of the powers that be. As such, I do hope that you haven't incurred the wrath of any of the powers that hold sway over the fringe you've subjugated. As for stabilization, alas, there isn't much you can do once the fragmentation and consolidation have been completed. Nonetheless, I have no doubt that you've given enough consideration to such important matters and ensure that your creation will be safe for you and your servants, unless, of course, you're preparing an elaborate trap. Your fellow colleague, Vadrak Tequan. It might be Techuan, but I can't be certain. So I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, we did take it. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Not that there was ever a chance I'd actually miss loot. And what the frick? Signet of House Vespertilio. Once per day, the owner of this token can choose any skill and rub this token to get a +5 circumstance bonus to the chosen skill checks for 1 hour. +5 circumstance token. Straight to... That'd be a usable, right? May as well get rid of that. He can't use these things for anything. Maybe we should give him stuff like this. Holy water. Nope, holy damage, not cold damage. Okay. Wait. Yeah, I think I've already gone through the list trying to make sure he didn't have the ability to learn things here. So we can go. Not quite. What is this? Piece of a holy symbol. This item bears a trace of lost power. It seems you found a shard of a destroyed artifact. If you find all of the fragments, an artisan with enough skill could restore it for you. Oh. Oh, well now I'm tingling. You know what I've always wondered? Why do video game companies put the quick save and quick load buttons right next to each other? That's something that always baffles me. I cleared this area out, so I know there's nothing else here. I'm trying to remember, this entire place is cleared out, but this is still... So we've got this and this left to see. Let's have him sneak just to be safe.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
This could be bad. cultist evoker. I saw 4 people here, including the demon, though it's not a people. I know that. 3. Really? You're not even a demon, but you have energy resistance. Oh, so this is where he got that club from. Well, crap. I should have gone for Grease. Next turn. There's always next turn. Who's next? Gross. Stay back. We have Lan. Since he's got a magic weapon, he ignores its damage reduction. I want this thing gone. It's one of the biggest threats, next to the Evoker.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
So, he's practically dead already.
Just sit here.
Ouch!
Don't worry about me.
Well, this is really bad. And if she gets rezzed, she's just going to drop. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. So, it's going to go like this then. I have to be really careful with the placement of this. We don't have to use this. We could just go with Grease. And then we can pick up Sela while the nearest, if everyone goes down, that is. Dang it. I was expecting a fight, to be perfectly honest. I was expecting a fight, but god dang it. She's only down by -1. Here, we have her. I can't blind the shears. They're not immune to being put to sleep. This guy is particularly dangerous. He has to go. We'll grease the other two with the next turn. I need something to distract them, but they're immune to energy damage, and these elementals are all worthless. Aside from the fire and wind elementals, I don't know if the earth one. No, it deals acid damage. This deals electricity. Good thing I noticed that. Acid, cold, and is immune to electricity. Which is kind of silly, but I mean, screw me, right? Anyway, we have cold, immune, well, resistant to that. Well, crap. Though I do appreciate that deals acid damage, but none of this is useful. We're not going to be able to attack this turn. So what can we do? I need Ember to cast. I don't think it's a spell, but a hex. I need her to cast the hex that suppresses energy resistance. So Morrow can one-tap this guy with the touch of cold. No, frigid touch. Much better name. So, first things first. They're going to have a hard time moving. That's what we want. But I also need... resist... No, this is only for energy. None of them deal energy damage. This will have to do. Okay, what else? Wait. Cultist Conjurer made a concentration check and cast haste. Without question, this has to go down. Here. Actually, I want them still to be in it even if they move up. Perfect. Of course, they roll to get up next turn. Ooh, unless... Actually, he has to go.
You won't survive me.
Missed. God dang it, land. Come on. Who's next? Her. She can't get close enough to Seela to use the potion, can she? I need Seela on her feet. Oh, that's a risky risk. Can we move her here and still do it? Not you. Really? That was sloppy of me. That guy's asleep. Actually, I want this. Dang it. But she can use it again, so that's fine. Man, this was the last thing I was expecting to happen.
not hold back.
He summoned monitor lizards. He should have been dead a long time ago. He doesn't have any resistances.
Endure this.
But the summons remain. Ooh.
Tactical retreat. No.
Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. Come on. What?
Yes.
And he missed. That's fair. This guy just summoned more. Okay, this fight has officially gotten out of hand. It could still be manageable. Actually, wait, who summoned the goddamn? He's dead already. Where did the demons have to go first? Thankfully, nothing else can get to us right now. First, this. That's what I was looking for.
Make every strike count.
He didn't make it, guys. Okay. We have her. Put that on. There's still another goddamn summoner back there. He's not even... He's not even on the freaking bar. Or in the turn order, I should say. These guys aren't immune to crits, right? No. Vulnerability. No, not that. Okay, he's asleep now. Who do we have here? I was hoping to use him to be able to see further. Okay, first things first. We execute this thing. We cannot let him get up.
It's all your fault.
Are you kidding me?
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Okay. I didn't expect to run into a freaking boss fight this early. But here we are. Now, if you don't mind, Woljif, get to your freaking feet. The elemental moves next. This thing goes before Woljif does. We need to heal him up as much as possible.
Yes.
No, this seems fine. If he gets up, he gets killed. Probably. Let's do it. God dang it, I skipped his turn on accident.
You won't survive me.
Who are we? Camellia?
Overrun the center.
Yep. That's about it. Well, that's... I need to see this freaking sorcerer. Because if that shear gets up, we lose. But I can't move land, otherwise...
This.
Oh, dear. Yep. Okay, we lost that one. So, I have no idea how I'm going to cut that. Frankly, the entire fight itself was just a mess from start to finish. I knew better. Actually, there are some soldiers up here, so we can go ahead and rest. And it'll be mostly safe.
What's on your mind? I wonder.
I hear you moaning sometimes in your sleep. It sounds so sad. Do you have bad dreams? Firstly, don't you dare eavesdrop on me while I'm sleeping ever again. And secondly, don't even think of pitying me. And so we try again. We got two evokers that make things
Godspeed.
just awful. So if I can end them first.
Quiet steps. Weapons ready.
They're here. I could have
Let us
pulled
press
back and drawn the soldiers into it now that I think about it.
Something
First
wrong?
off, I need to move you over so we can get vision on everyone that's here.
Don't mind me.
The frick am I looking at here? Everyone but Seela should come this way.
Together we stand. We march ahead.
Hey guys, what's going on? The young mongrel looks around in every direction but up. Maybe we should go back? This place isn't for us. It's too open. The enemy could come from anywhere, and the air is weird. Why does it keep moving so fast? Another mongrel stares straight ahead, gripping his blade in a trembling fist. No, not one step back. This is our test. Don't look at anything but the target. So you made it! Good to see you all. How's old Sol doing? Still waiting and thinking? Well, don't worry, he'll make up his mind soon. You won't be hanging about underground for much longer. What exactly are you doing here? The young man turns to you. He has one healthy eye and a lumpy growth where the second should be. It's you. It's thanks to you that we made it to the surface to fight the demons. The shield maze fell, but Sol slowed everything down. He's an old man. He's afraid of everything, but we can't sit in the dark like root vegetables while big things are happening above. We tried to follow you through the shield maze. We emerged into some kind of fortress, but there were too many demons there. Then we dug out another passage into the city. It took days, but we did it. We're ready to fight. But the exits down there are all blocked. We can't get back to it. I don't even know what this is supposed to be talking about. It feels like I'm missing information here. What decision am I supposed to make here? There shouldn't be any demons below ground. We literally wiped the entire place clean. I've got a problem in that area where I can't help but do it, so there's no reason for them to go back below ground. I'm pretty sure the fortress they went through was cleared out, except for the whole thing where we got one shot by the demon's lightning, but that's another story entirely. What am I supposed to do here? I mean, I'd love to pull them into the fight up here, but I'd also prefer that they didn't die. Tricky, tricky, tricky. The last thing I want to do is leave them without direction, otherwise they'll just end up getting themselves killed. Go back below ground and wait at the shield maze exit. We'll get the beasts at both ends. That doesn't make sense to me. Go back. Well, if you're sure, of course we'll go. I mean, an ambush is a good idea. We'll attack from below as soon as we hear the fighting start. The young ones are holding up well, but will they be able to fight out in the open? Even I struggle with that. Land frowns. I hope we did the right thing. We are the Crusaders of the Underground. We will fight like our forebears did. Don't go that way. Don't. Oh. Sneak 100. There you go. First things first. Sela's as far back as she should be because... Yeah, well, because her armor is loud. So, is there nothing else here? The last thing I want is for us to be caught here in a dead end. I want to check the demon's perception level. What is with this stinky aura on this rubble here? Okay. This has a perception of... no idea. Wait, does this ignore... No, it's definitely affected by spell resistance, so... can't use it even if...
This war must end.
Resistance, but not spell resistance. Too bad. Okay. I don't know about that, but he is not stealth. Let's fix that.
Steps. Weapons ready. I'm curious.
I'm here. Where else would I be?
There's an evoker. There are at least two. One of them is really far back. Conjurer and an evoker. That's what we needed to see.
I'm all ears.
We need to pull everyone else back as well. Put them all behind Sela.
Doubt is the heart's greatest
Take
challenge.
this off. Take this off. Put this on. And
You've
blow this
crossed
guy
the
up.
wrong
I won't
mongrel.
let you hurt my friends.
Let's see. Has to be here. 3 of the 4. I didn't even see him there. Let's go ahead and move Sela up for good measure. She's still in stealth. Probably undo that. So, what do we do with Camellia? This, and then we'll move her up. It's a full round action. Need to cast this like over here. But if I do that, I may end up pulling someone else into this. Right now, there's just the 4. So we'll hold off for now. She'd have to move up that far, and she wouldn't be able to do it this turn. Can get around. Oh, good news. There's 2 of them. Actually, we can have her do this. Of course, it reduces our armor class, but really? Great. A completely wasted turn because charge is broken or something. Oh, he's invisible. Oh, we've got to fix that, don't we? First things first. Sela. I have Fairy Fire on him, but he doesn't have it learned right now. Oh, he does. I don't know if it moved or not. Let's see. It's got nothing but demon resistances. Okay. Can't have him use Fairy Fire because I don't know if the guy is still there. There we go. Ow. And now he's deceased. Perfect. First things first. I just want this guy gone. And he'll attack the nearest one for 15 extra damage, and now he's on his face. WeArEuS became diseased afflicted with the condition Grey Pox. What does it do? Strength damage. He doesn't really use strength, but that's besides the point. It's still really bad. I know the Evoker can summon too, so he's got to go next.
Cover me, all right?
Because he doesn't have the sneak attack bonus. Right, I need to get him out of there. Okay. What do we do here? No time to be stingy. Let's get this done. Who do we have? Morrow. We'll do this. Slumber for you, so WeArEuS can get out of there. That's not an issue. Now, land if you don't mind, and
Endure this.
2. He is threatened, but I suspect he ends up on his face next turn. So let's just get WeArEuS out of here. Safely. Hey! It's pretty good. Let's actually get WeArEuS this way. Then this way.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
I'll cut you wide open.
Unless you miss. Yeah, he even has... Yeah, this guy is more demon than man. Oh, that's the little fire elemental making that sound. Three is better than a miss. She's not threatened, so this is a good move. Dang it. Let's get her out of there.
Make every strike count.
God dang it, I skipped the freaking turn.
Into the fray.
Longsword of Detriment.
The spirits demand your blood.
Pretty good damage for Camellia. The guy's level was nothing to scoff at either. So for now, we move up a little. WeArEuS could use the good touch, but he's out of range. Too bad for him. Looks like he's going to be a guidance bot right now. And somehow that consumed his move action as well. That's fine. Fair and balanced as all things should be. This only lasts 4 rounds. Not as useful. Of course. This one is asleep. So you
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
missed. That seems fair.
Stab yours at me. Why not both?
The light take you. The inheritor, guide my blade.
Who is this? Camellia. Ember's threatened. She needs to be pulled back. I want to get as many people on this guy as possible. He wasn't quick to sleep. Affected by spell resistance, so no thank you. This could go poorly. Do your best out there. Sleepy, sleepy. So let's see, we've got land.
You won't survive.
10. Miss. And miss. Not worth it. But this is where we are now. Now it clearly says that he is not immune to crits.
Die already?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I want this guy, once he gets up, to face Sela here. So that way he stays in the grease. Could have been useful if not for the resistances. This is Camelia's turn. I think I'm just going to have her play nurse. Oops. Unintended consequences. Given that she consumed her move action with drinking the potion, she shouldn't have been able to do anything at all. But here we are. We don't really need to waste any more of her spells on this guy.
Surrender or else.
Doesn't matter if it's diseased or not. So, first things first.
Endure this.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'll hold off. Just move him up. Have a drink, my child. You seem parched. Also, take another one of these. You know what? No. Take two. Take two, I said. Guess Sela just sits here and waits then, huh? I'll leave it. here. So we can get the flank on this guy, so we'll just can hit him with sneak damage. And let's get you in here too.
Too late for apologies.
God dang it, of course they can threaten from all the way over there. But it shouldn't matter.
Make every strike count.
Nice waste of that other arrow, buddy. Okay, let's have Lan.
Who? Me?
Yes, you. Clean up your mess. It's not on this one. First get this. Yeah, this is what I was after too. +1 club. And money. Ooh. Scroll of invisibility.
Are we playing hide and seek now?
Let's check this place out first. There's really nothing else going on with this place? Not even with its stinky aura?
They will not expect my strike.
Oh, they're masterworks. And the rest is trash. The bodies have a variety of wounds. One is covered in burns, the others have weapon or claw marks. It's safe to assume they were decapitated post-mortem.
I will guide us.
Well, that's it for that. Really? There were no perception checks, so there really isn't anything else there. So do I have to go all the way back to the fricking... what's the name of that place? The maze. Because I don't want to just leave those guys down there.
Godspeed.
There's a fallen tree somewhere.
ask me.
What? All right.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Okay, so there should be something. Let's check the map. Temple of Desna. Yeah, we'll go here. Okay, now, what is it that we missed? It's off to the right. Ooh,
Let us press on.
Are we playing hide and seek now?
Great. I think I see how we're going to play this.
Ask nicely.
Actually, let's go with her.
Trust in yourself.
Have her use this. This here. Let's see.
Always be ready for the worst.
I don't know what else is over here.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I will fight.
It's already down to almost half health. It's a shame it doesn't show me their freaking perception so I can know whether or not they'll be able to see Woljif while he's sneaking. She needs to be very careful with how she moves up. Here. Then we have Ember.
I'll hit you.
Accidentally skipped Camilla's turn because, well, that's sort of what we do.
Do not hold back.
And whiffs it. Well, while we're waiting. How is that sneak attack? That doesn't make any sense. How is that a sneak attack? I guess because he's still flat-footed. That's the only thing that makes sense. I have to remember that I can delay turns, otherwise I'm literally wasting opportunities. Why do you look like that? Of course, for some reason, it doesn't tell us. Oh, bewildering injury. Wait, that even works with ranged attacks and magic? Well, I wish I had known that. Let's go back to when he landed that. It doesn't look like he had to roll anything for the effect to take. He just had to land the hit, I guess. There's no real need for us to spend any spells on this. Ooh. It's level 5. Why did she hit it so hard? I don't want these guys to move any further up.
You are today's sacrifice.
Great. Yeah, nope, that's fine. Not a problem at all. Land's turn.
You won't survive me.
Will one of you fall? I'm out of summons, but I still have that. I don't understand why we can't see when they... Well, we can. Hold on.
Distract them from me.
Yeah, there we go. We have to right-click them. Oh, and we have to right-click them to see their perception as well.
Time to share your treasures. Cover me, all right?
They all seem to have 18 mobility, which explains why they're still standing.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
Ooh, 24 damage dealt by Woljif. Next we have Sela.
Into the fray. That is too good. That has to be the thumbnail. It absolutely has to be. Oh, that made my day right there. Who's next?
Too late for apologies.
Ember only deals 2. Still better than a miss. And he's down. Camellia going for the stab, and she's in the grease. We can only expect that she'll be face down on her turn. But we have Lan
Endure this.
going for the 8 on his first shot and misses the second. And he sundered Sela's armor. Because of course he did. We can swap his weapon out. Is he threatened? No. But I still want to see...
Strike as one.
Wonderful. That's fine, though. It's fine. It's fine.
Distract them from me.
11 and 12. A total of 23 sneak damage. Woljif is broken. Confirmed.
The light. Take you.
Only 6 from Sela. Too bad, so sad. But she at least landed a hit. And he's also suffering from reduced armor class, so it makes him easier to hit. Thank you, Woljif. You're the best. He's still face down. Camellia has yet to join him. She's instead going to turn on the weakened one, finish him off, and end her turn. In the grease, mind you.
Make every strike count.
Oh, land came very close to ending this fight for us, and I wasted Morrow's turn. I'm really good at the game. I promise.
Time to share your treasures.
Ooh, bye-bye. Now, Woljif,
Tail is restless.
if you don't mind, the grease.
This spell's faulty.
Oh, it's
No, really.
embers.
It's restless. I wonder why.
Yeah, I like having Ember able to cast that. Can she actually... I don't know if I have any scrolls that... Yeah, we do. Dang it. That's a shame. Yeah, it appears she just can't learn it. Which is fine, it's... fine.
Stop us.
We turn this off. Quick save, because of course. That went actually a lot better than I expected it would. I may need to pick up more grease scrolls. What the frick did I just do? I don't know what these buttons do. The plus and minus signs, I don't know what they're supposed to do, but they're making noise.
We march ahead.
Is there nothing else out here? We can't pass this to get over there, so there must not be anything there.
Our path leads on.
Can't go any further that way. Ooh. There's something here, but so are dead bodies. Gotta be careful.
Watch and learn.
Oh dear. Ah, so this is where he ran into it. The Babao. I don't think we need to waste any spells on this guy.
Cover me, all right?
Unless Woljif keeps whiffing. Touch yourself. Good job.
No glory without risk.
Wow, hold on. Let me check his resistances. 10 damage reduction to anything that isn't good or cold iron. I might have to turn off his energy resistances if it'll land. Thank you for actually using it this turn. And we have 5.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Ooh! Land dealing 38 damage, even though it was reduced by 10 to the Babao. Wow! So we have Ember. First things first. I'd like to set up on this guy, but Morrow's turn is next. Dang it! He resisted. He can't even... Weird. Very, very weird. Let's check this thing.
Attack!
Wait. Oh, it's still affected by vulnerability curse. Unfortunate. We should have gone with the snowball. We should be able to do it.
Overcome.
That is ridiculous.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
6 sneak attack damage. It's Babao's turn next. And he whiffs all 3 of his attacks. Meanwhile, Seela misses hers as well. What do we have Melia do? Seela doesn't need to be enlarged. Stabilize. Let's go with guidance on Woljip. That'll be her turn. Land launches off, misses his first shot and his second. He's got something in his eye. We all know it's true.
Surrender or else.
Yeah, he doesn't have it anymore. Unfortunate. Let's go for the blind. He is not
Too
blinded,
late for apologies.
but at the very least, it'll be that much harder to miss him. If he was getting any bonuses from stealth. Right, he has 17 spell resistance anyway, so chances of that landing would have been low. Okay.
Distract them from me.
11 and 10. 21 damage dealt by Woljip to the Babao, who then turns around and deals 13 damage to Seela, only to miss the follow-up attacks. Seela laughs all the way to the bank as she heals herself and then turns around and
Alright, take you.
whiffs her attack on the Babao. There we go.
Spirits demand your blood.
The Babao lays down, cold and quiet. As we've ripped this enhanced, I should say. Oh, it's unidentified. Let's check that out. Cold Iron Short Spear, melee weapon. Not very good. 2 to 7. What do you have? 3 to 10. It's automatically better. Yeah, it's just better. But its enchantment. This +1 club has nails that deal an additional 1 to 3 piercing damage per hit. I don't know of any classes that allow you to hit multiple times with a one-handed weapon. But I like the long sword of detriment's base attack damage better, so we'll keep that. 8 to 17 against... Yeah. Darkhorn is just better. She can equip this. Deals an additional 1 to 3 damage to evil creatures, which is all we're ever going to be fighting, but I don't think she actually uses this very well. Moving on. We go back and check the loot that spawned the Babao in the first place, only to find that it was largely worthless. Well, we were only here for the Babao's weapon anyway. So all's well that ends well. think that is it for the entirety of this map. There might be a smidge of things down here, but I guess we could check this. No, there's still the fallen tree trunk we have to cross. Where is that? Into the house. Huh. I'd like to have them already on the move, but I don't know where to send them. Fallen tree trunk. Fallen tree trunk. There are multiple exits, so I'm not really worried about getting deep into this area. Again, I should say. I don't know about the mongrels that we sent back underground. I didn't want them to go there. Here. I didn't want them to go back underground, but I mean, what else was I supposed to do? Just have them wander around doing whatever and risking themselves getting killed by Hull Run, who's unfortunately still alive? Don't worry, his day is still coming. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but he is going to die. And hopefully while his gear is still relevant to me. So I finally found the trunk. Let's see if we can cross
This
this.
is my kind of work.
The answer is yes. Oh! Interesting. So, if you had finished the summoning circle that was in one of the houses around here, instead of this fight and these guys being here, you would have fought the demon that was summoned from that circle. Instead, I had a rather easy fight. I mean, it didn't result in any, useful loot, but well, actually, there have been a number of fights that resulted in really good loot. So, what's the fastest way out of here? We can go back the way we came, which requires a mobility check from Woljif again.
I will guide us.
This is my kind of work.
Okay, he was successful. The way to get out has to be this way. I'm not worried about there being anything. We cleared this place well and good. Let's make sure we haven't left anything good behind. As if that's even possible. And by good, I mean like valuable. There's no way I'd leave anything or even forget or miss anything enchanted. That doesn't come from a skill check, right? Let's go ahead and quick save really quickly. Silken Thread Atelier. Worm's Mansion. First I need to get the corruption down, which requires that we head back to the Defender's Heart. Wait. Yeah, celebrate Sela's reunion with her friends. So let's get that undertaken first. If I could just get 1,000 XP from this reunion, I'd be happy. There are a lot more people here. Oh. You. Overrun's stern gaze darts around as he listens in on conversations, as though hoping to catch someone in the act of sedition. You again. Anything to report? We already know. Wait, did we? I don't think we learned about his past. I don't remember. Because I remember it, but I don't know if it was from the video I watched or... First, let's find out if he talked to Irabeth. The old man sneers. That little upstart... that little upstart went back behind my back and declared herself warden of the city. She refused to step aside. I should have arrested her and all the rabble she's drawn about her, but now's not the time for that. I'll let her play warden all she likes. Once we've cleared the demons out of the city, I'll make sure she's hauled in front of a tribunal for this little stunt. Can you at least help us when we attack the great garrison? What do you mean, how can I help you? Why all these questions? You're not doubting my abilities, are you? Overrun snorts indignantly. We're inquisitors. We will provide tactical support with cold steel or magic, as we see fit. Yeah, well, I've got to go. Go on, go. Keep your head down. I cannot find a satisfying voice for that guy. I mean, I had it the first time I spoke for him, but... Well, I farted that away really quickly. Why is this still here? Anyway. Let's do this really quickly.
Let us press on.
Well, I was going to buy potions from the tavern keeper first, but apparently I don't get that choice, as the defender's heart greets you with unexpected liveliness. Beyond the walls of the tavern, the once bustling and festive city lies in ruins, but somehow none of that can be felt within these walls. The people in the room are talking, laughing, raising toasts, even softly singing. It doesn't look like typical tavern revelry, but nor is it the grim vigilance of recent days. Sela waves to you. She's sitting at a table with the trio you met previously, the knight, the half-elf, and the red-haired halfling. Morrow, come! Let me introduce you properly to Elan, Janna, and Curl, the fearless warriors of the League of the Inspiring Cart. Sela pushes a mug of beer towards you and speaks softly. It was me who convinced Irabeth to use what Janna, Curl, and Elan found for a little party. If you look out the window, you might think the end times have come and the abyss have devoured us all. I thought some simple pleasures, good food, and good company could help keep the gloom at bay. Sela looks at you hesitantly, as if trying to gauge a reaction. Have I ever turned down merrymaking in good company? Let's raise our mugs, my friends. Wait, I'm not ready for another toast yet. It's not every day I drink with paladins, knights, and sword lords. I performed a chaotic action. Hey, are we just going to sit here with grim faces? I say we get to know each other a little better, so we have better reasons to toast. First, how well have you know Sela? I met my noble sister on the road. No, this is Elam. I met my noble sister on the road to Kenabres. I was returning from the south from my fiancée and was happy to be in the company of a paladin of Iomade. We said our farewells at the city gates, and I went north along the road to Dresden to my order's camp. Elam's face grows grim at the mention of the camp. The demons attacked us there. At the same time they struck Kenabres, but we managed to fight them off. We hurried to the city's aid and joined forces with the Eagle Watch. All my fellow Houndhearts were wounded during the battle on the streets. I'm the last knight of my order who can still fight. It's so good to see Sela again. Every loyal heart counts these days. I met Sela at a tavern in Kenabres. Before the attack, of course. She was one of the few who could sit at a table with the condemned. Knights usually don't even look at us, but Sela's different. I knew it the moment I saw her. That's what made me notice Sela too, so I sat down to talk to her. I never understood why everyone treated the condemned so horribly, and I still don't. Our Curl is a great lad. So after that night, Sela and I went round the taverns together every day. Mendev is an amazing place. People from all over the world come here for glory, redemption, or to help those in trouble, and they always find each other. This might be the best place in the world to find like-minded people and friends. That was a toast in case you didn't notice. So, you know what? I'm curious though. What about you, girl? How did you end up among the condemned? I just did what everyone else was doing. I grew up in the slums where everyone stole a little or maybe smuggled or guarded stashes, so... Curl stares into his mug gloomily. But I never killed anybody, and I never did anything really bad. I just got caught stealing, and when they made me choose between prison and the condemned, well, of course I didn't want to go to prison. I mean, I'm not that good a fighter, but as Norgorber... as Norgorber is my witness. A thief can also be useful in the war against the demons. I've always been a good scout. I can sneak under the nose of any monster, but I don't know where my friends are now. We got separated when the demons rampaged through the city. Chin up, friend. Whoever you were in the past, you're our friend now, and a crusader. Your skills will still be useful to us. You'll see. So, tell me about you and your order, Elam. As the stories go, it's not very entertaining, but I was born far to the south in Andoran. I lost my parents early. Led the life of a simple mercenary, but often questioned the path I had chosen. I'm proud of my sword skills. I enjoy training in drills, and I'm not afraid of battle, but risking my life for coin, it takes a special mindset to choose that lot with no regrets. You have to want to risk your blood. I saw too many of my friends die, and I wondered if it was worth it. So, in the end, I decided to choose another path. Now, if I'm going to lay down my life, at least it'll be for a good cause. That's how I ended up in Mendev and became a squire for the Houndhearts. It's a small order. But, by tradition, it has never been more than 12 members, and a new member is only knighted after one of the elders dies. We patrol along the Wardstone line and provide aid to travelers and settlers. Unfortunately, death is common among the Houndhearts. I became a full knight 2 years ago after laying my mentor to rest. But I'm content with my choice. My place is among the Crusaders. What about you, Jenna? Have you been serving the Eagle Watch for long? I signed up 4 days before the demon attack. Am I lucky or what? Jenna lets out an overly boisterous laugh. I'm an apprentice of a famous fencing master from Mivan. I learned a thing or two from him, believe me. I soon got bored of fighting off bandits and getting involved in petty squabbles of bickering river kingdoms. I wanted a proper challenge, and you can't find a better place than Mendev. Well, what do you know? The moment I arrived, the demonic invasion began. My father would say that's no accident. Fate brought me here. So, Sela, did you call me over just because, or is something wrong? didn't just want to talk about today's celebration. You see, Elan is in trouble. I want to help him, and I don't know anyone else in the city I can turn to. His fellow knights were all wounded in battle. Elan shakes his head. Bad idea, sister. I told you, I don't want to bother anyone else with my problems. I need to handle them on my own. Oh, come on. Hiding your sadness from your friends is no way to live. Curl's right. Marl helped me find you. Without his help, I'd still be looking for you all over Kingmaker. So, Elan, come on. Stop being so stubborn. I'm willing to listen if you're willing to tell. The young knight shakes his head. In all truth, I don't wish to impose. My problems are just minor troubles. A paladin of Iomade and her friends certainly have more important things to do, especially now that Kingmaker has been overrun with demons. Well, I think you can stop worrying about the market square. At least, that is clean. If I've learned anything in life, it's that there's nothing minor about good and evil. Lucilla begins seriously, but then a smile lights up her face. Take the three of you, for example. It seems like all you did was save one cart from some lesser demons, but look how many people are happy now. That feat will never be sung of in songs, but who knows? Maybe thanks to this one joyous hour of peace and rest, the defenders of Kingmaker will find the strength to protect the city. Sela catches her breath. I talk too much, don't I? Well, Sir Elan, I want to help you, and my reputation as a holy warrior of Iomade won't suffer if it's more of a minor adventure than a glorious feat. The knight sighs and seems a little embarrassed. All right, I'll explain. The life of a crusader has given me more than just a purpose and a chance to serve a righteous cause. When I abandoned the life of a mercenary and came to Mendev, I gained something I never expected. It's here that I met, may all the ladies here forgive me, the finest girl in the world. It's a miracle she found any love in her own heart for a bungler like me, but I'm not about to let this miracle go, not even if the demon lord Deskari and all his demon armies stand in my way. Luckily, my beloved is now safely away from Kingmaker. For half a year I've been getting up my courage to propose to her. I even ordered a ring from Derek Sunhammer, the best jeweler in Mendev. Independent knightly orders live mostly off donations, and I'm not what you would call rich, but I so want to make Kiana happy. It took me 3 months to find a jewel the same shade as her eyes, and twice that long to scrape together enough money. Master Derek's work was worth it, but I lost the ring during the demon attack, and I'll probably never find a worthy replacement. The ring is most likely still at the Houndheart's camp outside the city. Elan and his friends didn't have time to pack up their camp. First, the demons ambushed them, and then they rushed off to help Kingmaker. I think we should go there and check. Not right now, of course, but once the situation in the city is under control. What could we run into at this camp? My friends and I killed 2 large demons attacking the camp, then rode straight to the city without spending any more time cleaning up the rest of their band. It was only a few imps, but they might still be at the camp. Of course, this was a while ago. Our camp was attacked at the same time as the wardstone in the main square, and I haven't been back there since. I'm in. Sela puts her hand on your shoulder. Thanks for agreeing to help. Elan is a good man and a true knight, and I think the world should repay those who are devoted to do... My tongue got a little sticky there. And I think the world should repay those who are devoted to doing good. Let's help him so he can propose to his beloved the way he wanted. The Houndheart campsite has been revealed. Sela, I hope you can convince Erebeth to let me go with you when you do this. I don't want to be parted from my friends. Of course! If the League of the Inspiring Cardists come together in this dark hour, we must continue onward together. I mean, it's not 1,000 experience, but 150 will do. Now, I've got some purchasing to do, some resting, and I'm going to make sure there's no one that needs talking to. But that's stuff that's all going to be taken care of off camera because, well, we're at the end of another video. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. It was action-packed, for certain. I may leave in the fights with the group of demons and the summoners. Since, well, the first part of it is what I'm talking about. Well, the first try, I should say. It was a mess, but it was my mess. Full of mistakes I chose to make. Well, it really was all because I didn't actually stop to properly engage. I tried to stop them, but, well, what can you do? Anyway, we will be back tomorrow with more, because we finished the Glenmoril mod for Skyrim, and Unslad is not very complete, so we wouldn't get very much out of that. Also, Glenmoril actually isn't done yet, so starting Unslad would be, well, it would be unwise. And so, with all that said, we will see you next time.